So you were looking at number 4. Number 4 said, suppose in number 3, I have the scenario that the second constraint, which was the protein constraint, changed. And the second constraint changed so that instead of 20x plus 5y, so the original constraint was this. Bigger equal 40. And then I asked you to change it. Let's see who's paying attention. How do I change this? I told you that these coefficients might be off.
You gotta change the 10x plus 2y.
But first, the reason why, let's take a step back. So why did we do that?
Because you're trying to find the worst case scenario.
Right, because you want to give an answer to someone like, how do you meet that minimum requirement? Well, I have to take the worst case scenario of what they could do. So these numbers were just averages, and it ranged from 10 to 3, 10 to 30, and then the other one ranged for 2 to 10. And so the worst case scenario, the minimum possibility, because you're trying to bound it below, would be, what was here? What was the worst case scenario for that?
10x plus 2y. We have a quiz on Monday, don't we?
Yes, you do, on this stuff. That's why I'm trying to get you to pay attention.
Is the homework on this stuff?
Yeah, no, it is, but it's not manual. The quiz will be manual.
Okay.
Right? So I'm trying to help you again here. I just don't want you to like to think that I'm trying to hurt you. I'm not. So here you have this worst case scenario. What if, so this was the worst case scenario here, but what if I got this wrong? So in problem number 2, I had that the protein requirements could be wrong. It could be 40 to 70 grams. Was it 40 to 70? Did I get that wrong? Oh, that was fat. 30 to 60, sorry. What if I want to take into account this part here? What would the worst case scenario be? Like, this is the worst case scenario for these coefficients. What would the worst case scenario be over here for the 40? What would I put in? 30. Why would it not be 60?
Because you're trying to say it's at least 30 grams, so if you're trying to go to the minimized amount, it would have to be 30 because 60 is the maximum possible that you'd be able to get.
That's correct. So you want to you're trying to hit the minimum requirements, so the worst case scenario would be this 30. Kellen?
But in the instructions it says, what if we use the worst case scenario method throughout so that he meets the requirement of at least 40 grams?
I'm going to change it for you now. I did it. I worked it out. That's what you just got handed out. All right, so now change this to be the worst case scenario. Just to back brief, get up to the board and put your new constraint up. Keep all the other constraints the same, and then manually find for me what happens to the graph in the fastest way possible. Take individual boards, talk amongst each other, but take individual boards. All I want you to do is take the old graph, put the old graph on the board. The graph is now going to change. Instead of 40, I'm going to have 30. You have to see quickly how these graphs change to be able to do it in 10 minutes.